Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today is Valentine's Day and I wanted to sit and talk with you guys and recommend oh my god, I got something in my eye. Recommend 8 of my all-time favourite romance novels because it's the season of love. Everyone wants to be getting into a nice giddy romance. So these are my favourites, and if you can't tell, I'm actually filming on a new camera. I'm excited to see what it looks like once I start editing and things. Fingers crossed it looks amazing. But without further ado, let's get into these books. These are physical books that I've had on my shelves, so there are probably a couple of romances that I have loved, but I don't have the physical copy of them, so bear that in mind. But these are my 8 ride or die romances that I will always recommend. So first up on the list is actually one that I've read quite recently, and this is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. If you know me, I am a huge hockey romance girly, and this provided all of the feels that I was looking for. As you can't tell from the title, fake dating is one of the biggest tropes in this, and it's my favourite trope of all time. Any book that's got a fake dating in, I'm probably going to love it. And I will say this is the second book in a series. So the first one was called Behind the Net, I believe, but I didn't really like that one, and I feel like a lot of people have those similar opinions as well. So definitely go into that one. If you don't like it, please pick up this one because it just adds so many more of the things that I'm looking for into the book. I feel like we were really missing that kind of mental connection in that first book, but these two characters were like written in the stars for each other. In this book, our female main character, she's basically the hockey team's physiotherapist, and she kind of has this love-hate relationship with one of the players, and they basically went to school together. So they have a lot of history. He's kind of fancied her throughout the whole of his high school kind of era, I want to say. So they've, working at the same place, but then we have a dilemma where her toxic ex-boyfriend is coming to the team to play as well, so we have to kind of deal with how are we gonna make him jealous. So obviously the only other question would be for our two main characters to date, and there was so many moments of humour, so many sad moments as well, as we uncover kind of our characters' past and how they kind of got to where they are now compared to in high school. And it was just so enjoyable, and one that I will forever recommend, and a reason why it's in this video as well. Next up, in the movies by Lynn Painter, this is a young adult romance book, and one that I think anyone of any age will eat up and enjoy. It kind of reminds me of all of those 2000 rom-com movies like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, She's That Girl, all those kind of things combined into a book, and you would get better than the movies. I've read a few of Lynn Painter's books now, and she is one of my auto-buy authors. I will continue to read her work because something in the way that she writes just itches my brain in the right way. And in this one, we have Wes and Liz as our main characters, and they're neighbours. They go to the same school, and they also have like a frenemies relationship. So they get on, but they also enjoy picking on each other and bickering as well. Basically, someone called Michael comes to the school, and Liz has had a crush on him for her entire life. So Wes comes in to help Liz try and impress Michael, and they become a little bit closer than they were planning to, and it's just so sweet and so good. One that, as I said, I'd recommend to any reader at any stage. Maybe if you're trying to get into romance, this will be a good one because it's not too heavy, obviously spice free as well, so one of my favourites. Number 3 on my list, Reckless by Elsie Silver. So this is the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series. I have read another one of her series, a few of the books, but I still need to go back and pick up more of her work because, once again, very enjoyable. This series is a small town cowboy romance. It kind of follows each of the brothers from a family throughout each book, so you kind of see their love story with their chosen one. But with this one, we're following a family friend called Theo. He is a bull rider, and this one shocked me because it's basically a one-night stand pregnancy trope. Not a spoiler because it literally happens in the first 5 pages, but I fell in love with Theo. Do I think this book would have been this book without Theo? No, but Winter. So throughout the whole series, we're kind of seeing Winter as this like ice queen who doesn't have emotions. She's not a great character, but in this book she really opens up. We see her step into motherhood. We see her and Theo kind of try and you know, build something together, because they weren't even friends before this happened. So it's kind of like, how do we get through the situation, raise a child without them and ending up being a total mess? It's so good. My favorite of the series by far. So many people that read the series like, you know, Kate Eaton a lot because of his like manliness and muscles, but no, I'm a Theo Silva girl all the way, and this is probably a really good one to pick up this time of year. Obviously we're still in winter, but then heading into springtime, ready for cowboy romance season. Halfway through our recommendation list now, and I have another Lynn Painter book. This is The Love Wager, and once again, a very big trope within this is fake dating. Basically, our two main characters meet on a dating app. They go on a date, they don't really hit it off straight away. They decide that they would like to kind of make a bet to see who can find their soulmate first. So whoever kind of meets that love of their life through a dating website is going to get something from the other. I can't 100% remember kind of what they had promised each other, but it's such a fun concept. And obviously, as they're going through this, they also have this kind of date in the future where they have to go to someone's wedding, and they're going to fake date there to kind of prove that their life's a lot better than it was like back in college or something like that. And I don't know, it's just something about fake dating that brings so much yearning. We're not together, so we're going to pretend to be, but then like feelings start to grow. I think that's why I love it so much. Is like, I'm a slow burn girly, and a lot of these fake dating books do have that slow burn element to them. But I could go on all day about how much I love Lynn Painter and her writing. She just has the ability to create such realistic and relatable characters that you really do feel like you're reading about someone that you know. And if you haven't picked up any of her books yet, I highly, highly recommend it. As I've said already before, to new reader, to someone that's been reading years, I think they're so enjoyable. And this one would be a really good movie adaptation. So let's pray that happens in the future. Now, I don't think that it would be a romance recommendation book without including the loves of my life, Magnolia and BJ, and these are the characters from Magnolia Parks by Jester Hastings. Where do I even begin when talking about these two characters? They are truly written in the stars. It's a very big quote within this book and series, and we're basically following this rich socialite group of like late teenagers, early 20s. Magnolia and BJ have known each other since they're very young. There's been a lot of history between them. They have previously dated, and there was this huge thing that we find out in the beginning of the book that BJ has cheated on Magnolia. So we're then kind of spending this book specifically kind of figuring out their past. We kind of go back and forth between present day and memories that they have of each other, and you just truly fall in love with them. I do think this book is like Marmite. You probably either will love it or you will hate it, but I definitely loved it. And I'd say if you're a fan of TV shows like Gossip Girl, then this would be right up your street, because it's basically Gossip Girl but set in London in the UK. So highly, highly recommend. This series is so immense, and I have the beautiful original covers as well, and these are prized possession on my shelf. I just think every book that I've read by Jessa so far has really hit and has not disappointed. 3 books left on the list now, and my next one is by Hannah Bowman Young, and this is Out on a Limb. I've now read 3 books in this kind of interconnected romance series, and what I mean by interconnected is each book follows a different couple, but we do get little cameos from the other couples in each of the books as well, very similar to the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. And this one is very similar storyline to Reckless, where we have a kind of one night stand pregnancy trope as well. Our main character, Bo, in this is the sweetest golden retriever that you ever did see. Our 2 main characters, Win and Bo, basically end up moving in together to try and get to know each other, I guess, in time for when the baby arrives, and is so sweet. I ate this book up so quickly. I do think from these recommendations you can tell that I like books with certain things in, and if they have certain tropes and certain character types, it's gonna go to my heart and just make it burst, because this is the kind of book that will just put you in the feels, perfect for this Valentine's era and time of year. One thing I really liked about this is both of our characters have not a disability, but Bo has an amputated leg, so he, as you can see from the cover, and then Win has like a congenital deformed hand, so we're also kind of have that extra depth to our characters where they faced a lot of backlash throughout their life and a lot of people almost rejecting them because of the way that they are and how they look. But it's the sweetest story and definitely one to add to your TBR. Second to last on this list, none other than Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm just going to show you how many tabs I have in this book, because this means so much to me. I remember when I think I read this in a reading vlog. It was like my best friends choose my books, and one of my best friends, Liv, chose for me to read this. She loves Emily Henry and this did not disappoint. I recommend saving this one for your summer TBR. It gives you all those summery vibes, and there's also so much more to this because we have this added element of this friendship group. And this book basically starts off with our main characters. They've been engaged for years and they've recently split up, and we kind of don't know why until the end of the book, but they have this plan to go away with their friends that they do every summer, and they have to go along and pretend they're still together. So it is kind of like a fake dating scenario because they don't want to tell their friends just yet. So they're kind of pretending to still be together. And as you can imagine, this is very hard for both of them when they've like loved each other for so long to then kind of act in love after you've gone through all of this heartache. 10 out of 10, chef's kiss. I could not recommend this more. I know I need to pick up more Emily Henry books, but as I've said, I've just been reading so much fantasy. I feel like in like the autumn winter months I'm a fantasy reader, but then as the sun starts shining, romance is where it's at. So you bet I'm going to be picking up more and probably recommending more, because I doubt Emily Henry is ever going to disappoint. And the final book on my list, you're probably thinking, Sophie, like, how are you not going to include a book from the Windy City series in this video? Psych. The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is from the Windy City series and my all-time favourite romance series of ever written. These will be classics one day, mark my words, because if you haven't picked up this series, you just need to. It's an interconnected series once again, but this time we are following professional athletes. We follow baseball, basketball and ice hockey, and everyone is kind of based in the city of Chicago in America. And this one in particular, our main character Ryan, he is a really good basketball player. He is a captain for the Chicago team, I can't remember their name. And then our female main character is called Indy. So this is actually Ryan's sister's best friend, and she has to move in with Ryan because she's recently split up from her partner. I think he cheated on her, so she has nowhere to stay, and he kind of says, okay, you're my sister's friend, so I guess you can come and stay with me. They're complete opposites, and I feel like this is why this book works so much. Ryan is one of those people that just accustom, if he wanted to, he would. The little things that he does in this book for Indy had me kicking, screaming, crying, being sick all over the floor, because he is one of my favourite book boyfriends and just top tier. I will say my favourite part about this series and this book is our interconnected family from all of these couples and their friendship group. It adds so much to the story and they care about each other so much. I always say when I'm recommending these books that it is like reading about your own friends and family. That's how good Liz Tomford is. And oh, even like her like third act breakup moments, they're always so realistic and it just feels so real, like it's actually what real couples would go through. And I don't know, I feel like growing up playing sport as well, I always appreciate reading about people that put so much time and effort into their chosen sport, and oh, it's just so good. You have to pick this series up if you haven't. This is my favourite book out of the 5 of them. I think we have one more coming that's almost like a novella, but it's a completed series basically. So what's stopping you from getting all the books and binging them? Nothing. But there we have it. That is my top 8 favourite romances that I have on my bookshelves currently. I feel like some of these probably aren't a shock that I'm recommending them. They're very popular over on Book Talk, but maybe a few of them you've kind of been thinking, oh, I don't know if I like them, and hopefully this video would have encouraged you to pick them up, especially for this Valentine's season, because who doesn't want to read about people falling in love? There's so much going on in the world right now. There's so much hurt and heartache, and I think escaping into one of these books would just be perfect. But I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you're new here and want to see more recommendation videos, I post these quite often, as well as day in my lives and weekend vlogs, so definitely subscribe and stick around, and don't forget to give this video a like. I shall see you in the next one.